Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I'd really like to talk quickly about the importance of making sure in our classes, as instructors, we understand that our participants are listening to every word that we're saying in class. However, if we talk way too much or we run our sentences together and we don't take time to emphasize what I call pregnant pauses, where you take a moment to kind of create a dramatic pause in what you're saying, just like that, it kind of draws their attention in rather than drowning out your voice. And I've really learned this recently in my balanced body training I did in Sacramento. And then when I went to classes as I came back to Pro Sports Club, I went to a cycling class, I've done a couple yoga classes, just kind of bringing my body and my mind back to being a manager and drawing away from being a bar instructor for just a moment. And I'm starting to plan how I want to create my master instructor or my balanced body bar courses, and what I feel is important for instructors to know who are going to teach bar or really teach any format at all. And what I'm noticing is there's so much happening in the media right now, and we have so many instructors who are charismatic and who are authentic, and I've made videos about that before. But what I'm noticing is that people are planning their classes. They're planning their sequences and their exercises and their intervals, and they have this clear plan of what they're going to ask the participants to do. However, they're not thinking or planning or making sure they're specific on exactly what they're going to say. And I know that by taking classes, I've heard so many different amazing cues by instructors that has made my instructing level to go way higher than it used to be, because I'm able to mix up my cues and I'm able to learn from other instructors as to how they bring up things in class and how they cue an exercise and how they layer in the options that they want the participants to know. And it takes practice, I feel, to develop this very clear explanation of an exercise and a very clear just teaching style. But what I've noticed is that people aren't necessarily planning what they're going to say when they're about to say it. And you kind of have to be a step ahead in your mind of what you're going to say before you say it, is what I've learned over time. This is not something I was born with. I've had to really work on this. And especially with these videos, I feel like it's made me better at that, because I know people are really watching and I know they're really listening to me. But in classes, there's so much going on and there's so much we need to say and so much we need to do. And so much multitasking has to happen. I've been reading a book called The One Thing, and I've talked about it a few times, but it talks poorly about multitasking. And I have to say, group fitness instructors, we're stuck. We've got to multitask in class, or there's no way our class is going to happen or be successful. So as I experience these classes, what I'm noticing is instructors, of course, the ums, the ahs, the ahums, and the ahas, or I see people do fidgety things, or those little tics that we have, or the words that we say over and over and over again. Those are going to happen, but we need to try to rein those in. So of course those are distracting, and those words are not valuable to our classes. And another thing I've noticed that is not valuable to classes that people may bring up, and this should be completely eliminated from our vocabulary in any class, I don't care what it is politics or any media information. Unless it's a story that you've heard about an amazing athlete that has taken over the world when no one believed in them, or it's this crazy hero story, then that's going to inspire your participants and make them work harder. That is one thing, and that's value to what their experience needs to be. But if it has anything to do with politics or negative media, even if it's a hint of what's happening out there that's not positive, they're going to remember that in class, and it's not going to affect them well, and it does not add value to what they're doing. Another thing that I notice that's being spoken about and not planned, and creates that lack of value as the instructor is speaking, is over congratulating the class or over praising the class for what they're doing as the class is happening. And what I notice, and what an example of that would be, is let's say we're doing a bicep curl, and it's just a simple bicep curl, and an instructor suddenly says, "You guys are amazing, you're so wonderful and beautiful and strong, and I'm so impressed with you," and those are very nice things to say. I have to say, everyone wants to hear those words. However, the value isn't there. And so those words can be said, but there has to be an added value to that. What are they doing well? What are you proud of? What are you excited for? What is this going to do for them in the real world that they should be excited for? So adding value to what you're saying and planning ahead. So if you're going to praise them, plan on how you're going to praise them, when you're going to praise them, and what you're going to praise them about. Try to eliminate those ums, ahs, pauses that aren't planned, that you're stuck and you can't think of another exercise. Those aren't pregnant pauses. Those aren't planned pauses. Those are just losing track of what you're doing. And then finally, just planning out really how you're going to say what you're saying from beginning to end. And I promise you, it'll not only make your job easier as an instructor, but it will make your class kind of go to that next level. So thank you for watching this. Take what I have to say with whatever you can. And I know it's more thinking and more planning for classes when we have to do so much of that already, but I cannot stress enough how valuable that's going to be for your participants. Giving them specific reasons that you're proud of them, or they're doing things well. Maybe their elbows are in on that bicep curl and that looks great, or what they're going to benefit from. And not forgetting to also let them know how they should be feeling throughout the exercise is very important. I've gone way over on my time, so I'll leave you guys alone, but thank you for watching.